Stormwood and Associates is a production of the Nerd and Tie Podcast Network. For more podcasts from actual play to true crime to witchcraft, go to nerdandtie.com or join our community on Discord by finding an invite at nerdandtie.com/discord. In pursuit of a stolen magical object, Stormwood and Associates Field Team 623 stepped into a tear between realities and vanished. They found themselves trapped in another plane, facing a reality that was not their own, and driven to avoid dark forces they don't understand. And so, Team 623 finds themselves leaping from world to world, striving to put right what they find wrong, and hoping each time that their next jump will be the jump home. Stormwood and Associates stars Nick Izumi as Dee, Gen Proc as Obie, Trey Dorn as Amy, and Kyle Johnson as Liz Stormwood. Previously on Stormwood and Associates. So, the Stormwood team went through yet another ribbon, portal, whatever we're calling these things between universes, and wound up in a snowstorm. That's right, the universe they landed in was just still happened to be in winter. But as they pulled up to a hotel and went in, they found a world where technology and culture seemed to be at about the level of the 1980s. So, being that they're stuck there until the next day, based on the amount of time that the Stone of Tranquilus says it's going to need to charge in this universe, they decided to get a hotel room. Which then resulted in, after getting a hotel room, going down to the bar because, man, they really needed a drink. They really needed a drink. So that's where they are right now. The team is at the bar, yes, including Obie. They've got arcade games. There's stuff to distract Obie with. It's fine. It's fine.
The front doors to the hotel swing open. You know, but a bunch of snow rushes in, and four loud people walk in out of the cold. They're kind of weird looking. They look like rock stars.
Like what era of rock stars?
They look like 80s rock stars.
Okay, that's very important. You know, am I picturing a rockabilly band? Am I picturing Twisted Sister? Twisted Sister, okay.
It's more along the lines of a Twisted Sister.
Or Def Leppard, or, you know. But we're looking at more like a Def Leppard or a Twisted Sister situation. Like an Aerosmith or...
It's half Twisted Sister and half the Bangles.
Okay, so we got mixed genders here.
Yes, there's two men and two women.
So, hazy shade of we're not going to take it. Got it. All right.
Yeah. And they go up to the desk.
I'm just saying, thank God goth is timeless, because like, yeah. Okay. I'm watching these people.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, they're over at the desk. They're talking with the guy at the desk, and
is there like four? So you said four of them?
Four of them, yes.
Okay. Which one looks least like the bassist?
What do bassists look? I mean, Okay, so there is a human woman, the two human women, one human man, and a goblin man.
Okay, the buffest one's probably the drummer. The buffest one's probably the drummer, right?
All right, that would be the human man.
Okay. And the bassist is going to be the one who looks like the other two, but like it's the most dead inside in the eyes, because like somewhere deep down, and literally this is just Amy saying this to Liz, somewhere deep inside they feel like they don't contribute to the band unless they're also the vocalist, and then you can't tell between them and the rhythm guitarist, because there's 4 of them, right? So
there's 4.
So now this could be a 1 guitar band, in which case with a vocalist who doesn't play an instrument. And then the bass is going to be the most dead inside. But if it's 2 guitars and the bassist is also the vocalist, it's hard to tell.
You like knowing everything, don't you?
No, I just dated a lot of people in bands.
What else?
What? You're saying you've never dated anybody in a band? Ever?
Dated requires there to be more than one date, I think.
I mean, it's not... It is a little bit of a glutton for punishment thing, because like if they're any good, they start touring. So if you want a stable relationship, you can only date people in shitty bands that never take off. It's really hard, because the ones who are talented are hotter.
Yeah, definitely noticed. Definitely noticed.
Let's look at Obie. No, Obie's playing video games. Obie won't hear me. Yeah, okay. But
It's all right, I guess.
The drummers tend to like don't go for the drummer. All right?
Yeah, no kidding. Drummers suck.
But they look like they're gonna have like the most stamina, but they're usually the dumbest one out of all of them. Traditionally. And that can be fun for like a weekend, but like 6 months in and you're being their parent, and it's the fucking worst.
You're making me feel a lot better about my bad decisions, because they seem less bad now.
I'm just saying. No, but so like that's which one is the bassist? I don't know. Liz, what do you think? You ever dated anyone in a band?
No.
Why?
I don't know.
I mean, even if it's not a long-term thing, you get into shows for free.
Yeah, it is pretty great to get into shows for free. There's always a chance, though, like if that happens, that like maybe your ex ends up being a different band in a different band on the bill lineup, and then it just gets really awkward if you end up backstage.
It's only awkward if he's hotter than the guy you're currently dating, though.
She, yeah.
Now, yeah, I don't know. I like listening to girl rock. It's just every lady musician is just a little too good for me.
Oh, look, D, I know I give you shit, but trust me, a lot of them aren't. Seriously, I mean, Liz, you should, like, I don't know. Why?
What?
I don't know. He's not ever attracted to anyone who was in a band, or not into musicians at all?
I don't know. I don't...
The goal isn't to be into musicians. Sometimes the goal is for the musician to be into you.
Well, I mean...
Oh, God.
Yeah, but, like, I mean, Liz is cute.
Oh, yeah.
She's got that whole, like Emma Roberts thing going.
Yeah, I mean, like don't read me the wrong way. I don't date coworkers, but you're pretty
Right.
cute.
Okay. Excuse me. Hi. Do you have margaritas? Is that a thing here? Trey, be the bartender.
Why? Okay.
So I can interact with the bartender.
Okay, fine. Listeners at home, I am being forced to play an NPC. Yeah, hon, I can get you a marg.
Thank you.
I pull out the bartender pulls out a very dusty blender and starts wiping it off because it is the off season in an empty hotel bar in winter.
Thank you so much.
Apparently makes you a margarita.
Great.
That's my blender noise. Not good.
Out of character.
Thank you so
That's
much.
Excellent blender noise.
Okay, you don't have to be the bartender anymore.
Okay. All right. Well, okay. So, what are the band people doing?
So they're checked. They have now checked in. One of the human women and the goblin go off somewhere, presumably to their room, and then the other two, the buff human guy and one of the other women, they come over to the bar.
All right, we never established, are we at a table or are we at the bar?
I think we were just at the bar.
Okay, I'm fine with that. All right.
Liz was just standing at the bar because we didn't choose to go anywhere.
All right, yeah, that's fine with me. I'm just drinking and watching.
Okay.
I don't know. My goal is whenever I finish this drink, I'm going to get another drink.
Yeah,
I've spent the last several days with Dee and Liz and Obie, and I want to kill some brain cells. Because I'm realizing this is my life now. And at the moment, I have functioning currency.
The woman goes to the bar and just orders a beer. And she actually does order a beer because this is like a TV show.
Okay.
Where you can just order a beer and the bartender will sell you a beer.
Words don't describe how happy I am that you clarified that.
Yeah.
Oh. You ever feel like something is supposed to be happening and it is happening, but you don't know what it is?
What do you mean?
Well, there's a tension in this room, like in this bar. Like you feel like something's happening, but you don't know what it is. Right? Liz?
I don't know. I feel like it's a bunch of people who are just trying to do anything they can in the middle of a blizzard.
Why is there a band here? In clearly a resort town in the off season.
Ask them.
I mean, I could. I don't know. Okay, well. Shit.
I mean,
I feel like
okay, so there's the two band members in the bar.
Yes.
Obie's gonna go up to them and ask them if they're famous.
Oh, thank God. Well, because Amy's going through this calculus, she's like, neither of these people are hot enough for me to like act like. Because if I go approach someone in a bar, they're gonna think I'm hitting on them. Except none of these people are hot enough where I want to actually like have something happen in case like it's misread as me
they're
hitting on
pretty
them.
hot.
And
Yeah,
while
but-
Amy is doing like the
But
math
they're like 80s,
thought
like
meme.
they're 80s hot. They remind her of her parents. You know, like.
I wonder, do you think Bob Seger recorded Turn the Page in this timeline?
Like if you
'Cause, like-
walk in and you see someone who's dressed like the way that like your parents used to dress, like is that still hot just because they're hot? Because like and a part of you is like that's kind of like photos I've seen of my mom and dad, and like it's just immediately Sahara. You know what I mean? Like nothing's gonna ever happen with that mental image.
I mean, fair. I mean, when I think of my parents, I mostly just think of getting thrown out, but
Okay, that's unfortunate and rough, and that sucks. But it's also still not sexy.
yeah,
Yeah.
quite
so,
the
all right,
opposite,
yeah,
actually.
no, it's
So,
trying to keep it light.
so Obie, you ask.
Yeah, I
Yes, you
just
did.
go up to him. Hey, are you guys famous?
Thank God for the 10-year-old.
That's what he's here for.
Yeah. Have you heard of Blue Whale?
I actually haven't. I'm sorry.
Well, yeah, we're super famous.
Oh, cool. So what are you doing here? Did you get stuck in the blizzard?
Yeah, we had to turn off the interstate. The snow was too bad, and this was the only place.
Oh man. Were you like on your way to do a show?
Yeah.
Oh, in like a big city?
Yeah, Toledo.
Oh, Toledo?
Toledo's a big city here.
Who
Cares?
I've never been to Toledo. Well, that's cool. My name's Obie.
Hi, Obie.
I'm just watching the kid. I was just like, now, I wonder. So, does the girl like? Again, do you think she's the bassist or a guitarist or a vocalist or a combination? Because he's clearly the drummer, and we can't look things up on our phones here. Oh my God, these people just have to actually know things.
Can't even like pretend that I saw them at a
Well, no, like
music festival.
So I was in this bar once, right? And this guy's telling me that, like, oh, he's some big deal and he's in this band. And, like, I've heard of the band, kind of, but, like, I have no idea. And so I just Googled it and it turned out the guy was never in the band. He was just a liar. And he thought this was going to work, right? But, like, I could look and verify that. These people could be telling Obie that they're famous. We don't know. There's no... Like... Do you realize that even when we get onto places that actually do have that tech, we won't be able to look it up? Because our phones won't work? We actually have to learn and know things. Just abject panic in Amy's eyes, just looking straight at D. We actually have to remember and know things.
Yeah,
yeah, it's
fine.
Oh,
you
no.
You figure out how to exist without a phone
I
plan
don't
pretty
re-
quick when you
Yeah,
you don't have an option.
But there's public libraries. It's not hard to it's not hard to get a phone plan, a basic prepaid, and then jump onto public Wi-Fi.
Whatever you say,
Like,
princess.
Even if you don't have a working phone plan, you can still stop in a Starbucks. God, do you think they don't have Starbucks here?
Maybe just in.
I just look at the bartender. Look, I need you to tell me, when I say Starbucks, what do you think of?
That TV show. The girl from that TV show.
Girl from that TV show. Okay. They had a remake of Galactica, but not the coffee chain. Unless Dirk Benedict's a woman in this universe.
I love that show when I was a kid.
At least she didn't say Moby Dick. All right, there's no... I'm glad we're only here for a day. This place is awful. I'm gonna order another drink.
Yep.
Miss.
Yeah.
Get another one of these. How do these people live?
You doing okay?
Who's saying that to me? Is that Liz?
The bartender.
I don't know. Reality is a flexible concept, and sometimes it's just not what you need it to be to live. I'm just having an existential crisis. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Alcohol,
Yeah.
fix it.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, she gets existential on days that end in Y. Nailed it. Got your back.
Oh God, you're gonna be my only friends for a long time. Oh God, this is life now. Literally, the only respite's gonna be the kid. And he's 10. Is Obie still bothering the rock stars?
Yeah, he introduced himself, and then they never introduced themselves. So he's like, my mom taught me that when someone introduces themselves, you introduce yourself as well, and it's polite.
The woman says, "Okay, fine. I'm Maud."
Nice to meet you, Maud.
The man says, "Rudolfo."
Nice to meet you, Rodolfo. Well, I hope you have a good time, and I hope you could get back to your show. And
Thanks.
he goes back to playing video games.
They just look at each other like confused.
Liz, I just realized something important that we have to keep in mind. And that I can't believe I didn't think about this. I can't believe I didn't think about this. And this is serious and important. And we have to be mindful of this. One of these people could be a keyboard player.
It is the 80s.
Man, if that's not a perfect episode ender, I don't know what is.
I think timing is going to be in the middle of one though, so I don't know.
Oh, dang it.
Wait a minute. Yeah. Hey, do you guys think synth is still cool here?
I mean, synth is always cool. It's people who aren't cool who don't like synth, and I think that's really important.
There's a song playing on the jukebox right now. It's a recognizable Harry Styles song, but it's all synthy, and it has a saxophone solo in the middle for some reason.
Now, the good news is that they're not going to be a sax player, because sax players are usually someone who guests on the album and not a permanent member of the band. Right? I mean, so that's... Oh, that was saxophone player. They had a sax player in high school, but that doesn't count. Because he was not a good saxophone player, nor was he good at anything else. I feel like we should be doing something, but I also just want to drink more. You know what I mean?
Then drink more.
I get that.
What do you mean doing something?
I don't know. We've been running for days, right? Like we went through, and then we were just like constantly trying to like figure out how to do the next move, and then we went somewhere, and then we were immediately being chased, and now we're just sitting in a hotel bar, and no one wants to kill us. No one wants us dead. Everything is fine. Our lives are like difficult in the sense that like it's a long time till we get home, but not like a like the world's not ending at this exact moment, right? And our world's not ending, and nobody wants to hurt us, and we're just like, and there's just like rock star people over there because, and one of them might play keyboards. We don't know.
How 80s is this place? I don't know if I should be out.
You pass. Sorry, I shouldn't say that. That sounds transphobic. Like, I know that like it's controversial. Like you shouldn't tell a trans person that they passed, but frankly, you're an elf, and people can't tell the difference between cisgendered elves. That was really bad. I'm sorry. I've been drinking. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I'm a terrible ally. I'm the worst. I'm sorry.
You're fine.
Okay.
Obie would like to go and look at the jukebox.
But if you're worried, just don't sleep with anybody.
Okay.
Trust me, the selection here isn't great.
Did you go look at it? As far as I know, nobody's gonna like actually look
I'm
through
pretty
the
sure
jukebox.
Dee was responding to what Amy said, not to what Obie said.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I
Because that was applicable to both.
I
got confused.
puzzled
I did
about
look
why
at
you think that these people aren't hot. I don't know.
Because they remind Amy of her parents.
Of course I can see them, Obie. I can tell who I'm attracted. Shit. You're not talking about that.
Yeah, Obie would like to flip through the songs on the jukebox and see
Okay.
what they got.
Yeah.
See if
There's-
Blue Whale is in there.
I'd say roll a D10.
Yeah. Why not?
Assuming they're actually famous.
They are not in there.
Oh,
I'm going to look at the jukebox.
Okay.
Is there anything I recognize in there?
There's Katy Perry and the Fireworks.
I'm not going to
there's-
admit that I like that song.
There's that Harry Styles song. There's people you are aware of and bands you are aware of, and it just is weird. There's also, of course, things you are not aware of, things you aren't familiar with.
Is there anything that I'm familiar with that is from the 1980s?
So, like, oldies?
Yeah,
Oh,
like, I mean,
man.
like, is there, like, well, you know, because you go into a jukebox and, like, there's always a mix of stuff because they gotta cater to different ages of clientele. So, like,
yes, okay.
like popular
There's-
music from the 1980s on the
There's Billy Joel songs that sound like they're from the 50s.
That's what I want to put. Like, I don't know that it sounds like it's from the 50s until I put it on.
It sounds a lot like the regular Billy Joel
is it
song.
Uptown Joe? No, I can't tell from that. No, not Billy Joel. Because it's like, you put on Uptown Girl, what are you going to do? Like, it's just like you can't pick a Stray Cats song.
That's the idea.
But wait, would Uptown Girl actually sound like a song from the 1930s?
No.
I mean, But there's no like Kenny Loggins on here.
There might be some. Yeah, there's something like that. There's some things you might be familiar with from way back in the day that are actually the thing.
So like I could find Footloose on here.
Sure.
I'm gonna put on Footloose. I've had 2 old fashions.
Going off the deep end now. Here we go.
Yeah, no. And listeners at home, I'm sorry, I'm not going to play Footloose for you. That costs money.
Gosh,
We don't have that in the budget. Just pretend whatever weird piece of music I've put on right now is that. I didn't put on Harry Styles for the Harry Styles thing. I just picked a random track out of my library. That's what you're getting now. I do the editing. This show is on a budget of $0.
Unless you really want to be our patrons.
I drunken white girl sway to Footloose, whatever this sounds like. I am importantly not a driver. When I played NK drunk, she could sober up at any moment. Amy can't. We don't have rules for this. I don't know what's going to happen. She's not that drunk. But she's had a couple of drinks.
All right, Liz is just gonna sip her margarita, like leaning backwards against the bar.
I just want to, like, Amy is wearing her, like, platform goth boots, drunkenly swaying to Footloose, in whatever Footloose sounds like in this universe.
D, what are you doing?
Dee's enjoying the song and then realizing that, has that moment of guilt, realizing she might need to actually drive at some point again, and starts getting nervous about continuing drinking.
Hey, remember, you're a driver, though. You actually have the ability to be instantly sober.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about that. That's part of your archetype.
Well, Dee just kind of smiles and looking around the room, and decides to wander over by the arcade machines just because it's kind of making her nostalgic.
Okay. And Obie, what are you doing?
Getting the high score on that 8-bit Halo.
Okay. The girl next to you says, so you get snowed into?
Yeah.
Yeah, us too. She looks back at the couple who are sitting at a table.
What do the couple look like?
Ordinary ass white human people.
What age, just roughly?
Late 30s.
Okay. It's so different playing Amy than NK, because NK would do very different things in these situations.
My name's Cassie.
I'm Obie. What is Cassie playing?
Give me a game.
I try to get Dee to dance with me.
Okay.
Sorry, I didn't mean to
Dee is a
interrupt Obie.
noticeably better dancer.
No, I'm completely blanking. Brain not working so good today. Ooh. It has to be a modern. Well, heck, she could be playing the 8-bit Assassin's Creed.
Okay. Yep. She's playing the Assassin's Creed.
The jukebox is 45s.
Pretty cool, huh?
I know, like, so this guy Dave, I went to college with, and before you ask, no, I did not date Dave, but he was like, he's always be like, oh man, you know, like, vinyl is so much better than CDs, and I'm just like, and he like go on it for hours, but like it'll always be like some ridiculous thing, like some album that like is only like a couple of years old, and you know the entire thing was digitally mastered electronically, and so there's like, it's like he talks about how it's pure, and they like it doesn't like lose the sound fidelity that you lose on digital, and I'm just like, but it was mastered on digital. That fidelity was gone. What it really is, and this is what all these stupid like pro vinyl people do. It's just that when they mix for vinyl, they mix the bass to the center channel, and they don't mix it as high, because if you don't do that, it can make it makes the record more likely to skip. And so they just mix it slightly better. But meanwhile, they're like telling you that like the sound's more pure. No, you just like the bass mixed a certain way. You dink. You can.
Oh, that tracks. I used to go to this bowling alley, well, a lifetime ago when I was a kid, and they had their old arcade machines, and well, the jukebox was just all records and frickin' Galaga. That's kind of fun.
Miss Pac-Man is so great. There's an old Miss Pac-Man machine at the like gas station like down the street from where I grew up, and I was bad at it, but it was so much fun. And she's got a bow.
Yes, she does.
Right?
Hey, Cassie, are you from Toledo?
What? No. What? Why?
I don't know. I'm just asking.
Okay. Are you from Toledo?
No.
Oh. Okay. Where are you from?
Not around here.
Okay. Where's that?
Chicago?
Oh. Where's that?
Not around here.
She rolls her eyes and goes back to her game.
He shrugs and goes back to his game.
So, Dee, where are you from originally?
I'm from Duluth. It's
Yeah, I know where the north. It's cold there. It's like this all the time, isn't it?
yeah, it's pretty. It's I don't know. My head had to adjust. You know, you get used to that elevation, and then, I guess, didn't realize how much pressure it put on my head until I moved away. It was necessary, you have to understand. But yeah, I don't know.
How'd you end up coming down to Chicago then? I mean, obviously, like, what made you pick Chicago, I should say, instead of like the Twin Cities or something?
Yeah, this and that. You transition, you get kicked out of your house, you get involved with some illicit street gangs. Your only marketable skill is your ability to drive. It makes you make interesting decisions.
You were in a street gang?
Sorta. I mean, it was either that or, I mean, there were other options, but let's just say I like my ass not being sore.
It's probably a good way to, yeah. I feel like there's, you use that phrase, and I don't know if, sometimes you say things and I don't know if you're implying the things that you think you're not implying, or that's...
Look, my friends who helped me come out, well, we knew how to get a little extra money. It just involved cars, other people's cars.
Okay, cars. Yes, good. Okay. All right. I mean, it's cool that you can drive, though. Like that.
Yeah. I wasn't like some of my friends who could actually like fix shit, but I could drive, so that made me a valuable member of the team, which meant that I could afford to get shit done that some people weren't so lucky about.
How'd you get hired at Stormwood?
Well, I had to do I wasn't always good at not getting caught. And, well, sometimes you gotta help out with a not quite law enforcement, but law enforcement adjacent organization to make your record look better. Someone pulled some strings for me.
Wow.
And I heard Stormwood seemed like a pretty cool group. I mean, I heard about that shit that happened in Calisorda, so.
That was fucking wild.
Yeah, you were there for that shit, right?
Yeah, I just double checked that Liz isn't listening to us.
Liz does not appear to be listening to you.
I was adjacent. Like I was there when a couple of big things happened, and I was in the big final thing. I was part of the distraction. Like I wasn't part of the group that actually like went and did the important thing. And like I feel like anytime I mention this in front of Liz, she like rolls her eyes and gets all mad at me that like I know her cousin or something like that. But it's like I wasn't like doing anything. Like most of the time I was just like doing coffee runs and filling out paperwork. Like it's not like it was like, oh, I'm so cool, you know. It's just that a couple of times like I like, so like, I
mean,
in the big,
were they cool?
I mean, like I got to be cool a couple of times. Like they were cool. They were absolutely cool. Like the actual like Stormwood team, those guys were fucking great. One of them gave me the truck as a gift. Who just gives you a truck, right? Like, but like, okay.
Well,
so,
the trick is to convince them that you're a valet, and then, well,
no, I mean, like,
hopefully
legally,
they don't.
Like,
oh,
okay. But like,
yeah.
so like, but okay, so like, I get that, like, maybe Liz has an issue. Like, if I mention that, like, in the big battle against Hollowell, like, a lot of us were involved. Like, there was a whole like different groups of people that they called in to be distractions to like get the police out of the way, right? And I helped with that, and like I did some cool stuff in that fight. But like, if I even mentioned that like Hollowell almost killed me once, like when I was just like doing paperwork and he walked in disguised as Raz and like killed, like, if it weren't for the death proof ward in the office that he didn't know about, I would have been dead, right? Like, if I meant, so like me getting almost killed, like Liz gets all irritated with me even mentioning that happened, because it sounds like I'm like, I swear to God, like, it's so,
well,
she's so insecure about this, right? Like,
we cut over to Liz, who's who's talking to the bartender, who's making her another margarita, and Liz is like, and it's like, oh my God, just you were barely even involved. Just stop even talking about it. You were barely even involved.
You doing okay there? She was
fine.
She was barely involved.
Yeah.
And
She's barely even involved in the whole thing.
In what was this whole thing?
The Hollowell thing.
Who's Hollowell?
It's just this guy.
Okay. I don't know, hun. It sounds like, and you can tell me if I'm wrong. It sounds like you feel like that you're not living up to the obligations of your family, and you see her as some sort of competition because you're insecure about your own position in the family business. Am I reading this wrong? And her prior experience with them is like you're feeling inadequate as like a leader.
No, it's that she sucks and she thinks she should lead the group.
Stormwood and Associates is a production of Nerd and Tie. You can find more information at nerdandtie.com/Stormwood. You can also find us on social media at Nerd and Tie on Twitter, nerdandtie.tumblr.com, and facebook.com/nerdandtie. This podcast can be subscribed to on anywhere that major podcasts are found: iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, Podbean, and quite a few other places, and anywhere that takes an RSS feed as well. Hey, while you're still here, let me tell you about another podcast on the Nerd and Tie Network, and that's Let's Be Legendary. Let's Be Legendary, the Fey Wild West, is a 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons actual play game, so an actual play game like this one, but like, you know, in a system people actually use in the real world. Set in a homebrew Wild West steampunk world, the Fey Wild West follows two people discovering what it means to be in a relationship, all the while seeking revenge and learning the truth of their pasts. Let's Be Legendary podcast is an LGBTQ+ podcast with both main and minor characters, as well as players falling under the queer blanket. A heavy RP game with a focus on story and characters, and you can hear it every week here on the Nerd and Tie Network, and you can find all of their subscription information and links at nerdandtie.com/legendary.